Hello there again, everybody. This is going to be Jungle League number 46, playing the exact same list as League number 45 because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Coming right off the back of a trophy. So, like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Not necessarily saying that this is the end-all be-all list, but we tuned it to beat mid-range, and we played 4 mid-range decks last league, and we smashed all of them in a not-so-close fashion, at least most of the time. So if it's going to do as well as it did, let's just run it back and see if we can do it again. We didn't get to play against the card Uro last league, so I'm looking to play against that. I don't expect the matchup to be good still, but I do want to see this list's potential versus the various Uro strategies. So if you wanted to hear the quick deck tack slash explanation for all of my little changes, because there are a lot, you can go ahead and watch the first few minutes of Jungle League number 45, the video right before this one. So let's take a look at the current modern metagame. We've got Jund, our hero, going all the way from 15 up to 11. That's pretty nice. Uropile's still in first. Jeskai Control, we played against that last league, and that's all the way up to third now. Eldarmia's Toolbox also up to 4, pushing Rakdos Shadow all the way down to 5. Blue-Red Blitz seeing a bit of resurgence. It was very popular a few months ago, but fell out of favor and now is coming back in some numbers. Then we got our other combo decks lining up the 6 through 10 spots. Amulet Titan, Heliod Company, Copycat, Oops All Spells. Jund, our hero, in at 11. Ignore this thing, it's hideous. And then we've got some more mid-rangey combo decks in these last spots. So without further ado, let us just attempt to jump into a league here. Gotta change my record. I am not currently 5-0. Gonna have to send it back. I can do 2 things with my 1 mana source, but 1 land tends to be too risky. This is exactly how the last league started off. Cause I mulliganed to 1 lander and then I mulliganed to 1 lander, and we played against Rock. I mean, I think it's the same scenario. I mean, this hand's better in that it's not basic swamp. So if you draw a land, we could probably play red and 6, and maybe that can snowball us into some more. I think it's a bit risky though. Let's try again. All right, this hand's very, very good. We've got the Dream Curve of Thought Season, turn in 6 into Liliana. I think I'm just gonna bottom a land because Ren and 6 is likely to find all of our lands anyway. I think I'm gonna get Blood Crypt into Basic Forest, then we can get a Swamp for the Liliana. I don't mind getting basics, especially if I'm gonna be lava axing myself here. So let's bottom a fetch. I guess I actually have to bottom the Ravine, right? Because I want to have Thoughtseize on 1 and then guarantee the Ren and 6. I have to bottom the Ravine, and I have to bottom the Pyromancer, so I have the curve. This is a very good 5. Alright, mill. They just don't want us taking their archive trap. Okay. Storm count 3. You got another one? So unfortunately, versus this kind of burn deck, I'm missing the threat, and I'm gonna really need to find one. If I were the opponent, I probably would have exiled Tarmogoyf, just because that's probably one of the ways I can win this game. And we're mid Thoughtseize, so playing to the out of I need a cheap creature to win, I'm gonna take pretty much any removal. Like, if their hand is just full of more of these mill spells, like, there's kind of no hope anyway. I just kind of have to hope to hit one of my remaining threats. I've got one more Tarmogoyf in the deck, because remember, I'm only playing 3. Alright, and like I mentioned, I'm probably just going to have to take the push. That said, maybe this Liliana can plus before we get threats down, and then they don't have any more mill spells. So I'm just going to take the orb and go against what I said. Did they mill my basic forest? They did. Well, my life total doesn't matter a whole lot. As long as I have a green fetch, I need one of my 2 overgrown tombs or the stomping ground. As long as they haven't milled all of those, we should be good. There's 1 overgrown tomb. Alright, so we still have stomping ground and overgrown tomb that we can fetch. That's a Tarmogoyf. Oh, you got a surgical again? I see. Brutal. Well, luckily we have another land, but them in the dark hitting this run in 6 is ridiculous. Again, I probably would just be removing Tarmogoyf. That's also the card we didn't know about. They drew that for the turn. Alright, and then I don't want them to archive trap me again if they've drawn an archive trap, so I'll just fetch now. I mean, the rest of their hand isn't that good. They don't even have black for the fatal push. If I can hit untapped land here, I've got a shot. But it's got to be pretty close to now. Well, if they find a crab, at least we've got an answer to it. They got another surgical? They just keep drawing surgical. I mean, this is not a card. They keep hitting the cards that I really don't care about. Like, if I were them, they know about a Liliana last hook. They said, what, 100% be hitting Tarmogoyf now. It was like, Tarmogoyf is my beater. I guess they figure they've got the push for it. But they're missing black. And then Liliana might be able to rebuy even a second time. Alright, well, Field of Ruin means they're going to have their black mana. Alright, well, that can take Fatal Push. And it almost doesn't matter what they hit here. I'm just going to get another black, so that way any land that we draw allows us to cast Tarmogoyf. That said, I really want to keep my Overgrown Tomb, so I'll tap that one to incentivize them to hit the Blood Crypt. This has been a really strange game. I think I should have lost this game a long time ago, but even given the information I have, I think the opponent has made pretty weird decisions. I think this was their first really correct decision, was hitting that land. There's still a colored source off of Uro. Alright, the other Overgrown Tomb is still in the deck. That one doesn't do anything. Pretty funny, the opponent has cast 6 spells this game, and only one of them has had mana used on it. They drew a Field of Ruin? That's brutal. I don't even know if they have a basic left. There's a Swamp. Mountain. Forest. Swamp in play. Yeah, I don't actually have another land to get. Alright. Well, the opponent drew oddly well, and I drew very poorly. Come on. Come on, Moto. There we go. Alright, so Mill. This tends to be a pretty good matchup. Brutality takes a Mill spell. I may want more answers to Crab. There are 8 of them, probably. I could bring in Ashiok. It'll shut off Field of Ruin and their various fetching. I don't know how good that is, though. I don't think I want Spellbomb. Spellbomb could be cute. Like, if they try to Ancestral Recall, I could activate Spellbomb. I've done that before to some good effect. Take out the Dreadbore here. It's probably a bit too slow. I think Trophy is probably good for killing the artifact. Honestly, I think Ooze is going to be a bear more often than not. Like, if it's in play and I have a lot of green, I'll be having lots of food for my own creatures, so maybe that's a reason to leave them in. I think I do want extra answers for crabs, because they really need to get answered early. I think I want all the hand disruption. Last Hope's going to be good for buying back pretty much anything. Like, this whole deck seems pretty good versus the opponent. Maybe I just cut, like, one Seasoned Pyromancer. I think I want the Blood Braids because they've got haste. And that they'll usually hit another spell, another good spell. Like, the only thing I don't really want it to hit is, like, an Inquisition or Thoughtseize if the opponent's hand is empty. Or, like, a removal spell if they have no crabs. Like, it seems like it's going to be very good more often than not. And we saw the opponent also love Surgicaling them, so... Sounds good. We've got the Turwin Inquisition, we have an answer to a crab, and we've got a Bob. And this will see if the opponent's got some number of archive traps. They don't. They do have a crab. I think I am actually going to take the crab here because I really want to play Dark Confidant on 2, and that means they're going to get triggers off of their crab if I allow that to happen. Also, it's probably just safer to have the answer for the backup crab because more likely than not they're going to find a crab. And I think I'm going to fetch Shock now because I don't want the opponent to have more chances to draw an archive trap. We know now they don't have one with the exception of one card. So it's probably better to do it sooner rather than later. Let's get second black for sure. I did take out two of my seasoned pyromancers. I could just get basic swamp here. Nah, my life total really doesn't matter other than like this bob in play. Let's just make our mana as perfect as possible. Then like next turn I can play a Ravine, have up a push for something. Alright, so with any luck, the opponent has to Field of Ruin us to turn their traps on, but they've got a few. Alright, well we've got the answer to the crab. That's why another reason why taking the first one was good, like I mentioned. So the kicker on this is an additional 4. Ideally they're dead before they get to 6 mana. But we'll see. I think Liliana of the Veil would be one of our better hits here. Thoughtseize is good too, as is Tarmogoyf. Definitely want to kill this crab, so I can lead on that. Alright, they've just yielded priority. Let's say yes. Get in the Tarmogoyf. Get in the attack for 2. And like this is one of the reasons why I think this matchup is good. Like we've had like a fairly average draw, and all of our cards have lined up pretty well. We've even got a good follow-up on top of our more lands. Kolaghan's Command's a nice find. Alright, so there's a chance that my Thoughtseize takes something that grows the Goyf. So I'll do it first. And then if I play a Ravine, they've got the Field of Ruin. So I'll probably just play the Bloodstained Mire, so I have the option of Kolaghan's Commanding. This doesn't change. I'm still going to have 3 mana after the fact. There's no point to floating mana and getting fancy. Guess I'd have to fetch Shock to cast Kolaghan's Command. That's on the annoying side. Let's get the Swamp. Yeah, they milled 2 of my lands. That's pretty unlucky. And they drew a trap. Jeez. Opponent drawn hot. Well, at a minimum, we're hitting a Cacophony. Alright, so their hand is lands. Yeah, I want to guarantee that I can kill the opponent before this Bob is an actual threat. I think I'll just get a Ravine down. We can always cast Kolaghan's Command next turn. Kolaghan's Command actually lethal if they do nothing. Alright, they put Luris in their hand. That means we're probably just going to kill them. Although, the opponent knows that activating Ravine may be a possibility, so maybe they've drawn a push. Revealed Brutality. I guess that can make sure. It's just another way to kill the opponent. Just in case, do we have another land that I can fetch? Overrun 2. Let me just check. So there's the Stomping Ground, there's the Mountain, there's the Swamp, there's the Overgrown Tombs. There's no more Overgrown Tombs. There's the stuff. So there's a Blood Crypt left, I believe. Yeah, so with the Blood Crypt still in the deck, we should be good to go. I can attack, knock the opponent to 2, and then I can Brutality. If they try anything, I can Kolaghan's Command in response. But yeah, the opponent putting Luris in their hand, like I said, it could indicate a Fatal Push has been drawn. Also, pretty nicely, the opponent only has a single black source in play. So if they're going to play Luris and then replay the crab, they can't do it in the same turn. Or they can do it in the same turn, but they won't be able to landfall immediately after. So the read was correct. They'll take 2. Alright, so what's the safest way to do this now? Should probably escalate the brutality. Like, I can fetch shock all the way down to 4. I can brutality back up to 6, which ensures I won't die to my own Bob. The only thing I could possibly hit is a 4, and that has me only going to 2. So let's escalate this. I think discarding a card is pretty free here. I'll just discard the Ravine. Oh, I mistracked their hand. I forgot they put Luris in their hand, and I knew these other 2 cards. That's my bad. I, for some reason, forgot they hadn't put Luris in their hand. So it in fact wasn't free, but it is what it is. Alright, so I guess 2 to the opponent, return a Tarmogoyf. Well, should probably wait so I can kill the Luris and the crab if they play the wrong one. Yeah, I should wait. So again, if they want to do the cute play of Luris into crab, they will have already played their land for the turn, which is nice. We still have a forest in the deck. Basic. I mean, probably a spot to just cast a Bloodbraid. I could cast Tarmogoyf, but then they get to have the crab stick around for another turn. I could activate the Ravine as well, but it's probably best just to get the Bloodbraid down. I could Thoughtseize, but then I risk dying to the Bob. There's no real point in risking that for no reason. I took the Oozes out. I don't have to worry about holding up a green. The opponent doesn't know that, though. Not gonna cast another Bob. Yeah, milling us for 3 with an island doesn't seem like it's gonna matter a whole lot. We've got 3 on board lethal threats. They're gonna need a lot of help. I mean, they've got the Field of Ruin for the Ravine. Cool. I think the opponent probably should have just waited to see what I flipped. They don't know that I'm not playing anything that costs more than 4, but I could be. Really don't know what I want to be doing here. My whole deck seems like it's going to stack up pretty well. I think I'm going to take out a Seasoned Pyromancer and just bring in back another Scavenging Ooze. I mean, having a big beater is probably where I want to be. We saw with the opponent fielded ruining me so often, I didn't really have double red a whole lot. Yeah, sounds good. There's the ooze. This hand is susceptible to archive traps, but not much we can do about that. They have mulliganed at least once. Alright, I could play the Inquisition here. It's possible I want to take something like a Mesmeric Orb. But we don't know about the Mesmeric Orb if they've got one, but we do know about the crab that's in play. So I think I'm just going to prioritize getting the crab off the table. Which means I think I'm going to fetch shock a Blood Crypt. And I've got the ooze, so it's possible I want a lot of green. But I also got a lot of black and red spells. I could Overgrown Tomb here. But if I want to cast 2 spells next turn, like they play another crab and I want to Inquisition them, I could always just get Blood Crypt to the next turn. So Overgrown Tomb is probably fine. Like there's a chance we want to get a Stomping Ground. If we're going to be fetch shocking twice, then might as well just get the Overgrown Tomb first. I mean, I guess the argument is if they've got an Archive Trap, it's harder for them to hit both of my Overgrown Tombs. So I think I should get Blood Crypt first. I think it's real close, but just the fact that there's 1 Blood Crypt versus 2 Overgrown Tombs, I think that makes me want to get the Blood Crypt. No Archive Trap, please. Cool. And if they've got a Mesmeric Orb, it'll be unfortunate, but I was answering the card I knew about as opposed to the thing they could have. Alright, there's the orb. I've got Kolaghan's Commands and Assassin's Trophies that deal with that. There's Kolaghan's Command. Alright, let's get this Renin 6 down. Is getting Basic Forest going to be awkward long run? Like I said, I could just get Overgrown Tomb. I think I'm going to get Stomping Ground because then next turn I can get basically whatever I want. Hopefully they don't have Surgical because they would actually hit both of the lands that I've got in the yard. Alright, they don't have that either. Cool. Gonna have to be wary of Drown in the Loch as a way to deal with my Kolaghan's Command. I can like end step this Kolaghan's Command. Hopefully I mill a creature so I can bring something back as a second mode. If I don't, I'll just have the opponent discard a card. Cool. Play the Verdant because that's the one they know about. I could have gotten back Blackleaf Cliffs and tried to put it back immediately. So yeah, I was thinking a little bit too quickly there. Alright, and then like at the opponent's end step, I'll go for the Kolagon's command or something. Unless they do something on their own end step, in which case I'll do it when they're tapped out. Cling. Right, they could still they could still counter my thing with something like a Drown in the Lock now, but I think I am going to go for it now. This is going to draw them a card, and they're going to get a card off of their draw step. I mean, if I do it in their upkeep, that's one card that they won't have. It's only this one new card. But like in the event they find it with this, maybe it's just better to do it now. Like if I do it end step and it doesn't work, I'm still milling the same number of cards. Let's just go for it now. And I'll get back Bloodbreed. They could have another Cling to Dust, but they won't be drawing a card if they target a creature. So just really gonna hope they don't have a counter. And if they do, it's not the end of the world, but it will suck. Like, I guess there's an argument to waiting a turn was that I can Inquisition and really make sure the coast is clear, but this resolving makes me happy. So as it turns out, I still should have targeted the Backleaf Cliffs, but it would have ended up not mattering, given the opponent was going to cling whatever I targeted anyway. But yeah, liking this spot. I don't feel super ahead, but I don't feel behind quite yet. Them finding an Archive Trap is unfortunate, but oh well. I'm gonna avoid fetching as much as I can, which I say as soon as they play a Field of Ruin. Alright, I'm gonna try to slam this Bloodbreed and get my pressure going, I think. I could Inquisition, but I mean, what if they had something good, they might have played it. I think the Inquisition might be best saved for when the opponent puts Lurrus into their hand. They're gonna cling this too. I mean, I've got another land. Probably should have played my land first. Oh no, I can't because I wanted to play this forest. I was thinking, like, if they find Archive Trap, that would be another way for them to get it for free. So I'm just gonna hope they haven't found more Archive Traps off of this. Get more green for when we play Ooze soon enough. And then the ideal scenario is this hits the Tarmogoyf, just more pressure. Don't want removal here. I really would like another creature. Excellent. And the rest of our hand is quite good. Brutality probably going to be used as a removal spell somehow. Or even a burn spell if I need it to really steal a race. I've got 5 points of burn in my hand. They can now hardcast their traps, although I fetched last turn. Another Goyf, not bad. Should probably just lead on the attack. See what happens. There's a chance the opponent is playing sweepers. For that reason, maybe I don't play second Tarmogoyf. I'm definitely getting back a Ravine here. They're going to Field of Ruin me no matter what I do, though. I mean, we're almost at ultimate. so we can see if they've got the sweeper. Don't think this is gonna hit anything. If it were like a fatal push or something, they had used it. I guess that makes some sense. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Draw 1. Alright, and as predicted, their hand's pretty garbage. They can put Loris into their hand. I mean, given no sweeper, I think I should really be trying to just close the door. I guess I will cast Scavenging Ooze. I mean, they don't even have Loris in their hand yet, huh? Yeah, if they do find a sweeper, I'm going to want the Goy for after the sweeper. I'll leave up Stomping Ground so I can use... I guess I'll want to use the push first because the Bolt can go to face. So I'll leave up Overgrown Tomb so I can activate Ooze or play the push. Theo Jung. It's almost Jund. This hand's a little slow. We don't have interaction until turn 3. But if you're playing something even close to the mirror, this hand's phenomenal. Really good at drawing Bloodbraid today. Bounce land? Oh, okay. Jeez. It's a good start. Send a message? Yeah, I can appreciate it. Alright, well, I wish I had had that last turn. I guess it didn't really matter. I can't Revolt to kill this. I can just take the turn off to Fatal Push the Reclaimer. Probably should. Yeah, it feels bad not getting the Bob down, but I'm gonna get this Reclaimer out of here. Maybe that's too much play to stay alive and not enough play to win. My hand is so top heavy that maybe I do just want to get down to the mana efficient play that can help me find lands. I think this is the more play to win line as opposed to the play to catch up. I mean, as it stands, I'm not beating this Field of the Dead. I kind of need to hit my top end so I can race it, maybe. Come on, Blackleaf Cliffs. Alright, well, now I'll kill the Elvish Reclaimer. Them having Flagstones is pretty unfortunate. Alright, I'm not beating a Titan. I was already not beating this Field of the Dead, but I'm really not beating a Titan. Alright, Alpine Moon for Field of the Dead. Ashok's gonna be pretty good for stopping Titan and also stuff like Eldarmir's Call and their various fetching. Bolt can kill the 1/2, but not after they've got the lands turned on. I think I'm gonna bring Cleansing Wildfire just as more out to Fields of the Dead. I'm gonna take out one of my super high top end. Liliana of the Veil is probably going to be a little bit weaker versus the Arboreal Grazer shenanigans. Liliana Last Hope I don't think is killing anything. Ooze is likely to be a Grizzly Bear this entire match. Don't expect Red and 6 to kill much of anything, but I would like a couple. Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes are going to get worse, especially if they're playing Veil of Summer. I'm honestly not liking these Kolaghan's commands. Every single time the opponent is going to remove a creature, it's very likely to be exile based. And the 2 damage isn't going to kill a whole lot, and neither is the Artifact Shatter. Let's do this. Yeah, this hand does it. So do I want to wait on playing the Alpine Moon? I mean, I'm going to cast Tarmogoyf on 2 and then a Planeswalker on 3, which means I would have to wait until turn 4 to play the Moon. They might actually have Field of the Dead online by then. I probably just shouldn't wait. So let's plan my mana now. Definitely need double black. I need to get red now. So I can get Blood Crypt, then play Forest, and then if I haven't drawn another land, I can get Overgrown Tomb. And then I've got the Forest, so that means Wooded Foothills is my worst fetch. So I'll get Blood Crypt off of the Wooded Foothills. I mean, the drawback of playing the Alpine Moon now is that if the opponent has a Field of the Dead, it's going to turn it into a Rainbow Land for him. Bloodbraid, a nice pickup. Alright, I'll probably get the Ashiok down first. The more fetching and searching I can turn off, the faster the better, I think. Yeah, now that they've got Flagstones, I like this plan even more. We've drawn another land. Definitely going to get black now. And if I'm going to double spell a black spell next turn as well, I need more black. I mean, I'm definitely casting Bloodbraid next turn. I think the basic land that I'm most likely to want to get is Mountain, which means I'm going to want to fetch with Verdant first, so I'll have the option of Mountain next turn. Also, Verdant just the worst fetch because I've already got the Forest in play. Alright, so I could activate this first. Probably will. They could Veil of Summer me here, but if they're going to Veil of Summer an activation, that's fine. They'll get their card off of it. Probably should have actually milled myself, because I would have grown the Tarmogoyf. Little loose. What did I get? We got 2 Titans and a Path. Oh. Brutal. Alright, well, they purged that and not the Alpine Moon. Alright, I could Liliana plus start getting at the opponent's hand, but I don't think I'm gonna pass up on extra pressure. And I think I do want to get a black source because, like I mentioned, I have potentially 3 black spells that I want to cast next turn. So I guess it'll be over on Tomb. But that takes off double red for Seasoned Pyromancer. I do want to get a red source here. Fortunately, I can't get 3rd black and 2nd red. I think 2nd red probably more important. If they play like 1 creature next turn, I can always just Edict it with a Liliana. Pretty sure I want to get my 2nd red. I'll just get more green then, Stomping Ground. If I want to conserve life, it could be Mountain. I've got enough green. Let's just get Mountain. Like if I find a Dark Confidant, I'm gonna want it to be good. So I should keep my life total relatively high. Worst case. Yep, my Ashiok's gone. That's something I can Liliana minus. They're going to take my Alpine Moon, maybe? Yep. There's the Bob. Unfortunately, we don't have Revolt to pair with the Fatal Push, so I think I'm still just going to go Liliana minus. Please, no Veil of Summer. Please, no Castle Titan. Or now we'll get black. Clearly, the only options. You even got two Titans out of the deck. That makes the Castle Titan line a little less likely. Alright, well, there goes Field of the Dead. Oh, but they got 2 fields, so it doesn't trigger. I mean, if they've got a fetch, it's going to be pretty disastrous anyway. Alright, let's get in the damage while we can. Yeah, the Ashiok that I had was going to hose them. Then I guess if I want a plus, which I do, I have to discard one of my 2 cards. Yeah, I'll just discard the Verdant then. May need the Edict to kill a zombie. Same with the push. I need to dodge Titan and I need to dodge Fetch Land. Well, that's 4 zombies. Alright, time to try to beat Field of the Dead somehow. It's a good find. Should probably just cash in this Liliana. The opponent can get more zombies at instant speed. Let's draw the cards first to get some info. Definitely wanted to push first, so I'm drawing 2 cards as opposed to discarding one and getting a 1/1 that doesn't matter. Thoughtseize isn't the worst. Alright, let's just cash this in. Doing this first in case they have Veil of Summer. And then, do I want to trade the Bloodbraid for a zombie? Probably just should. Guess I can Thoughtseize first, see what's up. That's 2 more zombies. Alright, well, I've got to mow the zombies down somehow. Let's get attacking. Bloodbraid is one of our better draws. Alright. Field of the Dead. Gotta get the zombies dead somehow. I'm not playing Pulse, so attacking is probably worth it. I think that attack was free from the opponent. Mammoth. Sure. Don't know why the opponent isn't attacking. It's kind of free. I guess I'll leave up. Did I take out sideboard? Did I take out both oozes or just one? Took out both. Alright, well, we've got Revolt right now. Should probably kill the Dryad. But the Mammoth hits a lot harder. If the opponent draws Scape Shift, I could just die to this Dryad and having all their stuff be mountains. But I think I like killing the thing that hits harder. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure the opponent's attack, at least with the Dryad, is free. Like, they could be afraid of a Bolt, which is why I'm holding this card in my hand. Renin 6 is really good, though, because that buys back Peatland a bunch of times. No Ravine to get back quite yet. Yeah, Renin 6 is going to be good odds, assuming they don't just draw something ridiculous like a Titan, or an Eldamri's Call for a Titan. Or their third copy of Celestial Purge. Alright, so 2 Alpine Moons later, still couldn't beat Field of the Dead. Yep, I mean, we don't really have any early interaction, but we're on the play, which makes this hand a lot better. We can Ravine on 1, Bob on 2. Turn 0 Leyline. Alright, so I guess they're playing either Bogles or Oops All Spells. Adnaz is less common than Oops All Spells or the other thing, and it does look like it's Oops All Spells. Liliana's gonna be pretty good just in terms of being able to plus a bunch of times, but Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes being dead is a big backbreaker. That card does nothing. Fatal Push does actual nothing. I'll just ditch it. I think I'd prefer any of my creatures. Alright, so I could just be dead. Let's see. Yeah, Adnaz plays them out of the sideboard usually, I think. Alright, we're alive somehow. Maybe they just didn't have the untapped land for the 4-mana creature. Definitely just gonna go creature here. I really need to pedal to the metal it. If the opponent kills me, they're gonna kill me by a lot. I'm not really worried about my life total. I think I like playing second Bob here just as a 2-power attacker. Alright, I am dead. I think. Yeah, they Dread Return Thassa sometimes. The other way that they kill is just all the Creeping Chills. And then the Narcomoebas are going to bring back the various Swords of the Meek. So yeah, there's a bunch of Swords of the Meek, and then once all the Swords of the Meek enter onto the Narcomoebas, they will exile all of the swords and whatever artifacts they have in play to get back. Where is it? Not that. Might actually be in their hand, but that doesn't matter because they can discard it to Phantasmagorium. You like exile 3 artifacts, you put it back into your hand, and then you can exile 3 artifacts from a yard to cast it for free. And then that triggers all of the Vengevines and that kills you. Yeah, 1-card combo. Feels pretty bad. Cleansing Wildfire is just Stone Rain, though. I'm going to take out all of the removal. It does nothing. Trophy can hit the ley line if they've got it. I need one cut now. Renin 6 is probably just going to be on the slow side. Don't think I'm going to board out any Inquisitions or Thought Seizes just because the opponent has 4 ley lines in their deck. We've got the answer to the ley line. Or they just not have it. That would be good too. If they don't have it, we get to use the trophy to kill a land. But they've got it. Lame. My mana is perfect if I get Stomping Ground. We know they're not getting a basic land off of the trophy. Exile a Spirit Guide. Really wanted that Prism. This is actually interesting. Like I know the opponent is missing lands. It might just be worth it to Assassin's Trophy the Prism. Like, they exile the Spirit Guide to get it out. Like, the only reason the Inquisition matters is to take the combo, and, like, their 4-mana combo piece doesn't actually hit it. I almost like just killing this Prism here. I could go after the land inversely. Is it worth it to just go after the land? It might be better to do that. I mean, their combo is so one-shot. I have things that kill the artifact. I think I should go after the land because it's higher upside if I draw one of the things that kill artifacts. Like, if they've got a second land, then I think that play is very different. Right, that does not target the opponent. Alright, so now we're looking for Kolaghan's Command. Damn it. Well, if they hit a land, we're gonna kill it. No reason to get Spellbomb down. I'm going to want to keep my life total relatively high. Right now, Bob is my only clock. So I'm going to need to keep my life total high so it's got time to do its job. Bloodbraid, that's a good hit. We get to cast that. We get to cast that right away. Additional pressure. Goif. Liliana's good too. Inquisitions do nothing. Spellbomb is not good if the opponent has a Leyline of Sanctity in play, which they do. Because I cannot target them with it. I had heard a suggestion a while back to play Soul Guide Lantern instead of Spellbomb, just because it doesn't target. Revealed another Bloodbraid. But the big drawback of that is You don't get to exile the opponent's entire yard, and I think more often than not, I want to be exiling the opponent's entire yard and getting the card. Like, if you play against, like, an Uro deck, getting the extra card means a lot. I'll cast it. Alright, so we're in no danger of dying to Bob here, because we've got the opponent dead on board. Unless they exile 2 Spirit Guides here, I think we're good. Yeah, sacking my Bob, like, actually doesn't matter. We've just got him dead. So, I mean, Ashiok might be interesting because, like, I can exile the opponent's stuff enough such that maybe I can get some of their combo pieces out of the deck, but it still just folds to Leyline. No Leyline, please. Well, we've got 2 really good hand disruption spells, assuming they don't have Leyline, and we have a Stone Rain that draws a card. You're thinking it was better to hit the Leyline? I mean, like I mentioned though, they were behind on lands, and Leyline didn't actually do anything except for the Inquisition. The Inquisition doesn't actually take their good combo piece. So I didn't really even value the Inquisition that highly. I like taking them off of their mana. Like, if I kill Leyline and then I Inquisition Thoughtseize them and I see the combo piece that I can't take, or they just have 2 of the combo piece, I still just die. Whereas if I take their mana away, I don't just die. They've mulliganed to 5 so far. I mean, 2 mana cantripping Stone Rain should be pretty good against the mulligan to 5. I'm really hoping they don't have Leyline, so that way I can do it all. This hand's very good. Yeah, we didn't have the Spell Bomb yet. Hey, they didn't have Leyline. So you're telling me there's a chance. Should probably lead on the Inquisition. It might not hit anything. Just 2 Spirit Guides. Oh, they've got the Charbelcher, though. I mean, I can take it with... They drew Talisman. Alright, well, I have to Thoughtseize now. I mean, I guess I could Cleansing Wildfire. So the issue is if they draw another Spirit Guide, then I could just be dead to their Charbelcher, which would feel really stupid. So let me just make sure they can't stick this Charbelcher. I mean, they could obviously draw another one, but not much I can do about that. But yeah, their Talisman was a pretty good draw. Alright, they didn't play a land. That can take the Spirit Guide, and I can Stone Rain them. That's probably going to be good enough. They drew Vengevine? Sure. They're pretty far from casting that. I think since they're so far from doing anything, I'm just going to get my clock down. Start beating face. Sword that does nothing. Liliana's don't even look that impressive. What matters more, black or blue mana? I think probably black. I mean, they've got a black source here though, so I'll take them off blue. I've got trips. Well, they can't run a basic because all of their combo pieces say that as soon as you hit a basic land, you stop milling. So like they literally cannot run a basic. All right, so there is actually a creature in the yard. I don't think I'm in danger of the opponent casting 2 creature spells in a single turn, so it's probably worth it to play Liliana just so I can discard a Liliana and grow the Tarmogoyf. Jeez. So we could actually die if the opponent draws the combo piece off the top. Would that be a reason to crack a Peatland for any reason? Probably not. I mean, Bob's a good draw, though, because it means we're attacking for lethal next turn, so the opponent has exactly now to find it. Yeah, if you got it, you got it. Alright, please don't draw it. They're on a, I'm assuming 4-outer. But if they hit it, we just die. Which is pretty stupid considering how this game has gone. Yay, they didn't hit it. Darn. Can't keep a one-lander, especially when it's mountain. Well, this is a hand. I think I just want all my untapped sources. I'll add them a ravine. I am messaging my brother. One moment, please. Interesting. This could be the new red-white prison deck. Wow. Alright, looks like it's mono-white prison enchantments. Don't care much for the silence. It's like the unlife. During ideal, it says epic. For the rest of the game, you can cast spells at the beginning. You can't cast spells. Shuffle for an enchantment card, put on the battlefield, and shuffle. So yeah, it very literally is just a prison deck. They drew a land. How lucky. Sure. They hit the land. They didn't want to cast their 9 lives anyway. Sure. Alright, so if they hit the land, they will be able to cast Enduring Ideal, so this is looking like a turn where I want to Thoughtseize. And then, just for purposes of using my mana, I should probably Inquisition as well, but I think the opponent's conceded because Moto is lagging. Yeah. Alright, so mono white, lock you out, prison. I guess Ashiok stops Enduring Ideal. I guess brutality takes Enduring Ideal, not much else. Don't think I want any of the other stuff though. Kolaghan's Command doesn't seem like it's gonna be doing a whole lot. Scavenging Ooze doesn't seem like it's gonna be doing a whole lot. This was an accident. Let me take it back out. Fatal Pushes do actual nothing though, right? All the removal does almost nothing. They could be playing some number of like Gideons, so Dreadbore and like Trophy might be fine. I guess I need 3 other things. Like they could be playing like Ensnaring Bridge, maybe some number of ways to kill artifacts or have the opponent discard cards is fine. I can't imagine any of these other cards are good. I'll just put in a bear. Yeah. Yeah, they'll probably bring in Leyline. They've mulliganed to 5 so far. What's up, Chaos? How's it going? They mulliganed to 5 and no Leyline. I like that. What are we up against? We're up against Mono White Enchantment Prison, I think. Here, I'll show you their hand. They've got Blood Moon and no white source. Spyglass is going to turn off Ren and 6, which is real annoying. They're a red source away from the Blood Moon. I could gamble it. If I can get the Ren and 6 down, I can start fetching basics. Watch them just draw Spirit Guide here and just completely blow me out. Yeah, Pillow Fort. Sure. It was a very soft Pillow Fort. Yeah, I'll keep it. If we play the Swamp on 1, we can't Ren and 6 on 2. We could play the Peatland first. But I mean, we don't even have a fetch land to get back. But I mean, it's probably still worth it to get the Ren and 6 down. So I'll pay the extra life so I can play Ren on 2. Unless something changes. Alright, something changed. Sorry, so I can fetch Shock Overgrown Tomb. And then Mountain and then Swamp. And that has my mana being pretty perfect. I think I'm gonna do that. Like I could Peatland first and Thoughtseize, but then I have to fetch Shock next turn anyway, because like I need to get I can't get basic Mountain. It's already in my hand. So yeah, I'll fetch Shock Overgrown Tomb now. Cast Thoughtseize, and I'll hope they're not playing like Burn or Is It Prowess or something. Good Good old lava axe to the face. My own face. Oh, would you look at that? It's burn! Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Go back. Go back. Redo. Undo. At least they mulliganed, right? Looks like they did. Yeah, they mulliganed. Alright, we got our card back. Not the way I wanted to do it. Oof. Alright, well that's a good one at least. Get this Ren and 6 ticking up. Unfortunately, this card's not very strong versus this opponent. Sad trombones indeed. I've got a very good record against Burn though, like just in general. I think in paper events, I have like a really ridiculous, like competitive REL, I've got like a ridiculous record versus Burn. Like no exaggeration, I think I'm like 12-2. Alright, well, lava axing myself and the opponent drawing burn spells is not going to be good for us. We can Liliana their Skullcrack, though, so that's not nothing. I'll discard a land, obviously. Small chance we climb back in this with a Ravine. So yeah, I'm gonna Ravine next turn for sure. I mean, if the opponent goes lands, we've got a shot. All right, well that I'm okay with. We're still not dead to a Boros Charm with that one. Let's get a Ravine down. Let's not forget to plus that. That's important. Come on, just draw lands. Creatures are fine too. Rift Bolt. Yikes. Yikes. Alright, well, I'm dead to literally any burn spell anyway because I'm at a virtual 2, so my next fetch is free. If they draw a creature, I would just die instead of being able to hold up a Fatal Push. So my option now is I could go down to a virtual 1 to start getting the hits in with the Ravine, or I could wait until next turn because that takes away creatures as future outs. I think I'm just gonna animate the Ravine and start getting in there. Like, if I'm waiting, if I don't attack with the Ravine now, it's just one more turn that I'm giving the opponent to draw a burn spell anyway. Like, the only draw that, like, immediately bites me here is, like, a Monastery Slow Spear. And we've already seen one of those. Alright, don't draw any spells, please. I'm in danger. Indeed. Target me, how rude. They drew this with Spear. Alright, good beats. Alright, well, I don't think we were winning that game with the hand that we had. Ren and 6 is like nothing versus this opponent. This card's good. These cards are good. This card is quite bad, as is this card. I'll just like bring in a redraw, I guess. Yeah, this looks fine. I'm not super happy about the Ren and 6s being in here, but I mean they could buy back like Nurturing Peatlands, I guess. Yeah, this is the hand. If this hand doesn't win, no hand will. Alright, I'm going to get as many basics as possible. So I want to get Forest on 2, and I want to Swamp now so I can Inquisition. So I'll lead on Blackleaf Cliffs. We've got a lot of removal for the creatures. I think I'm just going to take the guide. Like, had they had like 1 or 2 creatures, I think I take the spells that go directly to face, but they're going to lead on all their creatures anyway. So I'll take the creature that does the most damage now. If they play a Swift Spirit's only hitting me for 1, right? Nice. Alright, so that's going to get a red source at some point. So I think I should probably just Brutality. I mean, I do wanna escalate. Maybe I just ditch the land. I can like ditch land and bolt, and then just have all the goodies as leftovers. Yeah, like land would be nice from the guide, but knowing I've got Brutality, like I'm probably just gonna discard a lot of things anyway. I wanna pad my life total. Like, as long as I'm not discarding my Tarmogoyf, I think I'm gonna have a hard time losing. So I think I'm going to just cash in the Brutality for the full mode. Like, I could just play the Tarmogoyf, but I don't really have a good block. Because they could bolt the Tarmogoyf, then trade. So this Tarmogoyf is how I'm winning. So since I'm not playing Tarmogoyf, I think that means I'm playing Brutality. And then I'm pretty happy just never casting this Lightning Bolt. So we'll 3-mode it. You, pay, the red thing, and the land. Yeah, Goyf is very strong. They found the Boros Trauma. They're a white mana off of it. Maybe I should just take it because it deals the most damage. I think I probably will for that reason. Just because it does the most damage. Like they are a white source off, but they're likely to find it. There it is. Alright, so now they get to, like, I guess, bolt plus... Sorry, Swift Spear, then bolt me, get the prowess trigger. They suspended Rift Bolt. Yeah, that makes some sense. That does nothing. So I could play the Tarmogoyf now, or I could just take the turn off and Fatal Push. I know the opponent's hand. They're going to Rift Bolt me, then they can bolt me and then skewer me. It puts me down to 9 and has their Swift for being a 4 or 5, which doesn't break through Tarmogoyf, but it would still have my Tarmogoyf dying. So I think I'm going to Fatal Push this turn. And I'll wait to incentivize them to cast all their spells. So they can, like, have future prowess triggers be good. Another Rift Bolt, jeez. Skewer. Alright. I'll save the opponent some clicking. Alright, so we're at a virtual 6. Alright. 3 hits on the Goyf. They could go 2 spells up the Goyf to kill it, but I doubt they want to do that. I'm already at 12. Alright. Not that shocking. I could just get basic. Yeah, getting basic is fine, because then I get the Ren and 6 down. Either way, I'll attack first. Is there a reason to not play Ren and 6 now? Because if I play Ren and 6, not fetch shocking, I have to commit myself to fetching again to play Liliana if I want to play Liliana, which I'm assuming I do. So that would have me going down to 7, which means I'm dead to this and the Boros Charm if they find it. So I actually think I'm not playing Ren and 6 here just because I don't want to be doing an extra point of damage to myself. I think 6 and 5 are very similar. Alright, well, I do want to kill the Swift Spear. So I'll get a Blood Crypt here. I can Liliana Edict. Ooh. I mean, if they've got a 2-mana burn spell, Kolaghan's Command's a pretty good one. I mean, I guess they would have just Lightning Bolt. They wouldn't have Lightning Bolted if they had a 2-mana thing. I mean, the only reason casting Kolaghan's Command instead of Liliana bites me is if they've got exactly another Lightning Bolt or like a Shard Volley. I'll go for this play. This'll take care of the card in their hand as well, and the off chance it's something that costs 2. Not exactly lethal if I shock them. It's close. It was a path. Alright, so I'm pretty glad I did that. Alright, so now it's only Boros Charm, and the opponent has already seen 1. So pretty good that I didn't play the Wrenn and 6, because, well, I guess I didn't want to play Liliana anyway. So it ended up not mattering. I just need to fade Boros Charm right here. Boros Charm here would suck. But I mean, it is what it is, right? And if I hit a creature for a chump blocker, we just Edict it. Cool. That's how it's supposed to go. We're supposed to lose game 1 and then win 2. But then we're on the draw 3 and we got to break serve. Cleansing Wildfire is cute because like maybe you can take the opponent off of white, which does take out some of their burn prospects. I mean, it might just be better than Spellbomb. They're both 2 mana to draw a card, but Spellbomb you can at least split it up over a couple of turns. I mean, who knows? Like the exiling of the art actually just doesn't matter. Cleansing Wildfire could be cute. We'll try it. Who knows? Maybe we can even hit one of the Horizon lands and prevent them from drawing a card off of it. It could do something. I don't want any of the other stuff. Like Thoughtseize on average will gain a life and like net some info. That's about it. They always get the Lucky Charm versus you. That's unfortunate. Yeah, like the Wildfire is literally just my 60th card just because it cycles. All right. Can we break serve? Well, we've got a Brutality. That's step 1. Gonna need to find a creature, but we can pressure the opponent's hand with the Kolaghan's commands. Let's draw a push or a bolt, please, or an Inquisition. All right, not that one. Hopefully Brutality doesn't end up being a liability. Like, if they can Prowess trigger on their turn, then maybe we can't kill the Swift Spear. But I mean, having a Prowess creature will incentivize them to cast it on their turn anyway. Alright, that's a threat. Let's full retail this. You. What am I discarding? I don't really need 4th land. I do want 2nd black source for the Liliana. I've already got double red for the Pyromancer. Pretty sure I want to keep the Kolaghan's commands. My hand is so expensive that the odds that I'm double spelling aren't super high. I mean, I have to ditch 2 things. Maybe it is just Kolaghan's command. I think it's Kolaghan's command and a land. I don't know which land, though. I can't Liliana on 3 if I'm not fetch shocking. If I shock, I can Liliana on 3, but I want to avoid it if possible. The issue is I just don't have another thing to do next turn. Like, if I kept Wooded Foothills, Sorry, like if I kept Tomb, I have to pay 2 life to do what I want to do to play something next turn no matter what. But if I keep the other thing, it's so close. It's definitely a land here though. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Double Eidolon. I think I'm just gonna take the card they can cast. They drew it. Like 15 minutes. Alright, so I guess I'm going to 12 here to edict this thing. I mean, this is keep the scenario where I kept this Overgrown Tomb is gonna net me an additional life. But I didn't have to fetch for this black here. Yeah, the Kolaghan's command should be good. Like I said, it's probably gonna end up having the opponent discard a card. Like, if they go Eidolon here, I can Kolaghan's command that one, and then continue plussing. Bolt is nice. I may actually end up just discarding the Bolt. Like, I could discard a creature and then get it back with a Kolaghan's command, but I'm pretty sure I want to pressure the opponent's resources, which means I'm having them discard a card. So, like, the modes on this Kolaghan's command are definitely you discard 2 to the creature. But I'm going to plus first so the opponent discards without information. The question then is just, what am I discarding? Pyromancer is the creature I know I can play. Bloodbraid is going to be a really powerful follow-up. It's between Bloodbraid and Lightning Bolt. I think I'm going to actually keep the Bolt. Bolt can go to face. And, like, I'm just not going to guarantee to have any... I'm not going to be guaranteed to have instant speed interaction. If I ditch the Bolt. I think I want to kill like a Hasty Guide or a Slow Spear or something. This is not the way. So is there a reason to wait so that maybe they trigger their own Eidolon? It could bite me if they like draw a card, it's a land, they go like Helix and the thing. So I think in the off chance they can cast multiple spells, it's probably best to just do this now. Go to 10 in the process. They discarded another Eidolon. Yeah, third copy of Eidolon doesn't look super strong when I've got the Edict on board. They're using the Helix to kill Liliana? That's good for me. Alright, Bloodbraid's good, but that's actually going to be better just for making another token with this Pyromancer. Make our hand strictly better? Sure. More Lilianas, yeah. Alright, let's attack. Gonna have to be wary of Deflecting Palm. If they Deflecting Palm a Tarmogoyf, that could be a silly way that I lose. Should I just Liliana plus? Probably not. Playing Goyf at least threatens that I can kill them as early as next turn. Sure, that's not a Deflecting Palm. I don't want to see Helix, I don't want to see Deflecting Palm. Guide. Alright, we win. Because this is a 6 power, right? Yeah, so we can Liliana Edict, then we hit him for 10. Or we could do that, but Liliana's cooler. Ice cream! Yep, ice cream indeed. For the whole team. Cool, we did the thing. Alright, so let's do a quick deck tech for purposes of the recording. So, I think this was a pretty abnormal league, all in all. We played against Oops All Spells, which we won, because the opponent had some unlucky mulligans, but I mean, they play a Glass Cannon deck, it's gonna happen. We played against Mono White Prison Control, which also had some unfortunate mulligans, and our Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions were very good, taking all the important enchantments. We played against Burn, obviously, and like I said, I've had a really, really good record versus Burn. Like I said, competitive rules enforcement level, I think I'm like 12-2 versus it. I think it's a really good matchup for Jund. I've heard a lot of people say that it's 50-50, but I think that might be a product of not leveraging resources properly and like sequencing. Like I think it's all sequencing versus Burn. Like if they've got the nut draw, then there's not much you can do. But I mean, I had my collected brutality for games 2 and 3, and that obviously helps. Then what were the other two decks that we played against? I should really start writing it down so I don't forget. Yep, only 3 Goyf. I guess since this is a deck tech, this is probably a good spot to explain my various deck choices. So we really built this deck to be good versus the mid to late game decks. Traditionally, Jund has a very good matchup versus aggro and combo, but there's less of that these days. There's more mid-range and control. So as a result of that, I took out some of the 1-for-1s that very often get boarded out and brought in some more of the multi-for-1s. So I'm playing second copy of Kolaghan's Command, 2 Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm playing a Liliana the Last Hope. Still playing quad Bloodbraid, quad Liliana the Veil. I'm playing 3 Dark Confidant. I like playing 2 usually, but since the meta is so slow, I'm playing even another one. And then Goyf, like versus the mid-range and control decks, I very often end up boarding 1 or 2 out. So I said, what if I just start without the 4th one? Still playing 3 and 6. It's a really excellent card advantage engine, but it is legendary, so playing 4 is difficult. And then I took out, I'm playing the 2 Lightning Bolts I'm playing in the sideboard still, because pretty much every match that I play, I find myself always wanting to board them out. They don't do much versus any of the Uro shenanigans. They don't do much versus many of the combo decks, except for the creature combo decks, but those matchups tend to be pretty good anyway. So I just put the Lightning Bolts in the sideboard and said if they're good, I'll bring them in, and if they're not, I'll leave them out. And they've been very good in the sideboard. I wanted to instead replace them with the removal that would definitely kill things like Shadow, things like Tarmogoyf, things like Scourge of the Skyclaves, Uro, Omnath, literally everything. So even though Fatal Push is card negative versus stuff like Omnath and Uro, it'll at least kill it, whereas Bolt will never do that unless you pair it with something else. So I've still got a relatively normal, if not slightly below average, number of 1-mana interactive spells, but I really wanted to emphasize the things that would actually have an impact as opposed to things that sometimes won't, like Bolt. So that's pretty much the configuration and why I chose this configuration for the main deck. The sideboard looked pretty good. Against Oops All Spells, Cleansing Wildfire was pretty fantastic. Alpine Moon. Okay, now I remember. We lost to the green-white Toolbox deck. We played both of our Alpine Moons, and 3 Celestial Purges later. We had both Alpine Moons and we had an Ashiok, but the opponent had 3 Celestial Purges. So we still ended up losing to Field of the Dead, which was really annoying. And that was our only loss. So Field of the Dead, still the number 1 enemy at large. And Spellbomb was good. It was an interesting discussion that was brought up a while ago between what we should be playing between Spellbomb and Soulguard Lantern. Soulguard Lantern does not target the opponent when attempting to exile their yard, which is particularly relevant versus the Oops All Spells deck, because if they've got one of their 4 main board Leyline of Sanctities, you cannot target their graveyard with all of their abilities on this deck. That said, I did try a league playing 2 or 3 Soulguard Lanterns instead of the Spellbombs, and I really wished it just kept the Spell Bombs, because while Soulguard Lantern is really good versus specifically Oops All Spells, if I ever find myself playing against an Uro deck, and I want to exile the opponent's graveyard at instant speed. I also really wanted to be able to get the card out of it. So Spellbomb does that, whereas the Soulguard Lantern doesn't. So I think in Jund, I think Spellbomb is still probably the 1-mana graveyard hate of choice. But I'm open to being convinced otherwise. And then Brutality, the last sideboard card I haven't yet talked about. I mean, you saw it versus Burn in that last league, in that last match. It did phenomenally well. As it tends to do, you just fully escalate this thing pretty much every time. And it kind of just buries the opponent. You do one of these, make sure your opponent can't path to exile your Tarmogoyf, and you just win really easily. So all in all, still really happy with this list. With this exact list, I'm now a combined 9-1 because again we lost to the Titan Field of the Dead deck. Not the Uro Titan, the Titan that should have been banned 3 years ago. The Primeval Titan. We lost to Primeval Titan as we tend to. But other than that, still feels really, really strong. We've had a very good mid-range to control matchup. Liliana Last Hope has come in multiple times. We played against Mill. That was the other one that I was forgetting. Around when we played against Mill, Liliana Last Hope was good. Tarmogoyf was good. Pretty much everything was great. I think Mill's a really good matchup. But I've been talking a lot, so for purposes of the recording, I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. If you're watching here on Twitch, which is a lot of you right now, I appreciate you stopping by. And you should definitely drop a follow. It's a great free way to support my content. Also, all of my recorded leagues are already on my YouTube channel. This is league number 46. So if you want to watch 45 Jund leagues plus some extras, you can see them over on my YouTube channel. And both the links to my Twitch and my YouTube are on the bottom of your current screen. And with that said, I'm gonna hang out on the stream for a little while after I shut off the video so we can talk some Jund while I get the upload going. But I'm gonna end the recording there. And for those watching here on YouTube, thanks again for stopping by, and see you soon.